Hey there guys, welcome to the next time lapse here on the channel. I was getting a few comments that some of my time lapses were a little too short, so I decided to make this one a little bit longer, work on a more complicated image. So that means I have plenty of time to just kick back, relax, and just talk to you guys about the time lapse. Maybe a little bit about the Duct Tape Festival and whatever else I can think of that's relevant to this time lapse. So working on a Mighty Ducks logo time lapse for this video, I'm putting down a purple background first on the cardstock paper. Most of you guys are probably familiar with the Mighty Ducks movies, but there was actually a TV show back in the 90s which I was a huge fan of. I used to watch a lot of 90s cartoons like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Gargoyles, Captain Planet, the original Power Rangers. I was a huge fan of the original Power Rangers. Used to have a huge crush on the original Pink Power Ranger, who was played by Amy Jo Johnson, if I remember correctly. You guys actually might remember her from a more recent TV show called Flashpoint. She was on that for the past 4 years. I think it ended last year. But anyway, so working on this logo here. A lot of great TV shows back in the 90s. It was pretty much the golden age of cartoons, much, much better than what we have nowadays. That's for sure. If you were a 90s kid, you really got treated to some awesome cartoons. So working on cutting this out now. Duct Tape Festival is about a week away. Hard to believe. It always seems to sneak up on me every single year. It always seems like it's 4 months away, and then you blink your eyes, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's next week, and lo and behold, it is actually next week. So always working on things up to the last minute on trying to get things done and ready for the festival. This will be my third Duct Tape Festival that I'm going to go to, which is going to be pretty cool. This year's theme is duct tape through the ages, which is kind of like a history from World War II when duct tape first was invented to nowadays, which should be pretty cool. So sticking that giant black piece of duct tape onto the purple background. There's going to be a lot of layering decoration in this video, kind of just layering every single thing onto this black piece, which I'm sticking down right now. Alright, so putting that on. Going to be working on a costume that I'm working on for the festival. That's one of the things that I've been working on for the past couple weeks now, and it's pretty much totally made out of duct tape with some fabric underneath, so hopefully I won't be dying out there in the sun. If it's over 60 degrees, I'm pretty much going to be dying, and I can pretty much guarantee that in the middle of June it's going to be at least 60 degrees. It's probably going to be at least 90, so if I die of heat stroke, the channel will come to an abrupt end, I can promise you that. So hopefully I won't die of heat stroke out there. But you guys can cross your fingers for me. Anyway, so working on applying those teal portions first. There's a whole bunch of different colors in this one. There's kind of like yellow, white, black, of course, and that teal color. It's kind of like an off-green color, kind of like a sea green, but I decided to go with the teal. It was pretty much the closest color that I had to work with here. So working on those 3 parts of the triangle first. And we're going to be sticking that on. Coming up on halfway through the time lapse here. We should be close to about 7 minutes for a total length of this one. Cutting out the sticks now, the hockey sticks. And there is a bit of a white background, as you can see, around a lot of the images in this one. I decided not to go with that. I think it looked actually pretty great at the end without that white border line. Plus it would have taken probably another like 4 or 5 minutes to apply all those onto the thing, so I didn't want to make this like a 10-minute video, but it looks pretty cool without that white border line all the way around the logo. Fun fact, they actually have a giant one of these hockey masks at the Disney's All-Star Sports Resort down in Orlando. It's like a giant hockey mask. It's probably at least 25-30 feet high, and it's insanely cool. One of the coolest things about staying at All-Star Sports is you get to walk by that thing every day, which is pretty cool. Definitely a really cool prop. So we're working on cutting out the mask now. There's actually a bunch of things going on with the mask. You have the black dots on it for the holes, and there's also a bit of just a little bit of that gray part, which you can see, which is kind of like the shadow for it. Gray is a common color to use for shadowing. You guys might remember some silhouettes that I made a while back that were Disney themed, which with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and those actually had this gray shadow thing on it, and that's exactly what I'll be doing in this video, just a little bit less than I did in those two silhouettes, definitely a lot less. So working on cutting out this entire piece now, and there's a little bit of an extra piece there. There's of course a spot for the eye. This is going to be one of the most kind of awkward pieces to ever pick up and stick down. I kind of had to just stick it down on the bottom, and then I kind of just followed the design all the way through. Definitely one of the most awkward pieces of duct tape that I've ever tried to stick down onto a painting. So working on cutting out a little bit of that shadow now, which is kind of the gray tape. This will be stuck right on top of the white tape, and then it'll kind of just add a little bit of contrast to it. It's pretty much the main reason why it's there. On rare occasion, it actually covers an entire piece, which you can see for the bottom part of the mask here. That entire piece is actually gray, so I technically didn't need to cut out the white piece underneath it because I'm going to be sticking this gray piece right on top, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. So working on sticking those on now. A little bit of just a little bit of shadow to it, which is really cool. Sticking that on. Sometimes it doesn't always work out exactly the same way because you're kind of just cutting it out. You have to cut it out exactly perfectly the same way, otherwise it's going to have a little bit of a it's going to show on the sides. So I had to take another piece of gray tape and kind of cover up that little bit of white on the tip of the duck's beak. So now I'm going to work on cutting out all those little holes for the mask. I decided not to just trace them all out evenly. I just cut out a whole bunch of them, and I just showed you what it looked like after I cut out a whole bunch of them here. Now I need to cut out those two small white pieces for the inside part of the stick, and that will pretty much wrap up this time lapse. So like I said, hopefully you guys liked it, and I will catch you guys this week at the Duct Tape Festival. If you guys were going, definitely try to find me. Just don't leave until you find me. It should be pretty easy to find me at the festival with the table and everything set up. But so definitely come out and see me if you guys are going to the festival. So sticking those on now, and this will be the last part of the time lapse here. So hopefully you guys liked it. Definitely a lot more complicated than some of the other things I've made, and it is definitely a very cool logo of an old cartoon and of course the Three Mighty Ducks movie. So there it is. Really cool. So that's going to wrap up this video, and I'll catch you guys next time on the channel, which should be tomorrow. So like I said, I hope you liked it, and I'll see you tomorrow.